Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Hope your Saturday is going great. Hope it's stacked full of appointments to go out and help a bunch of families in whatever type of insurance that you do. So happy to be with you here this morning on the Insurance Syndicate Live, coming to you from Saturday Morning Cartoons. Sawyer did a phenomenal job last week interviewing our special guest, Mr. John Paul Vetter. And he had a buddy over last night. Sawyer did. So they're doing kids stuff this morning. So today you get me. And we're going to go over some really cool stuff here in a little bit. Hopefully everyone saw the intro from earlier. But I'm going to kick this off with our intro, as we always do, with that Saturday Morning Cartoons. We'll kick it off in here in just a minute. See you around the flip side. All right, good morning and welcome back. Hey, let's have a little bit of fun this morning. If you guys would, throw in the comments where you're watching from, where you're coming from, and maybe what type of insurance you're in. I will tell you guys this morning, this podcast, or this live rather, it's going to be the title of this one is $100,000 Simplified. Okay. And this is going to be specifically geared towards those in the life insurance space. Mainly because I don't know a dang thing about the other types of stuff that's out there. There are experts in every field that talk in different capacities. But if you're in other types of insurance, whether it be P&C, go see Mr. Campert. If you're in health insurance, there's lots of great people that do that are part of the syndicate, and every other type of insurance that's out there as well. So let's see here. We've got my man, Kyle Musilak from St. Augustine, Florida, live and in person. Kyle, thanks, man, for being on. My dude, Chase McAllister out of Toronto, Canada, still trying to figure out how to buy a participating whole life policy in Canada. And let's see here. I got a face. You guys need to make sure, in order to see your comments, you've got to go and allow StreamYard to post your comments into it so we can see your name. So I got Oklahoma, Facebook user, or Mr. Facebook user, and another gentleman or lady from North Carolina. So make sure you go in there and allow StreamYard to post your comments. It's a setting tool. But listen, I don't want to waste any time this morning, because listen, I know if you're on here, you're like, hey, let's get this blood pumping, let's get going, and how can we go and make $100,000 in our first year in the business? Again, this is geared primarily, because this is the business I'm in life insurance, okay, and specifically simplified life insurance, so that you're not having to have your customer go and have to get a urinalysis and blood work and all the other fun stuff that no one likes to have to do, right? Have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for, if they don't go accelerated. So I want to give some very actionable items and ways that you can take this beginning of the year. We're only 1 week into the year, right? 7 days, only the 7th. So even if you didn't do this last week, if you go and implement it starting today and set goals, and go out there and say, hey, I'm going to make $100,000. Now, this is going to, some of you, you're going to hear this, you're going to go, that's all I got to do to make 100 grand. Some of you are going to go, what? I got to do all that to make 100 grand? But Some of you are going to go, I want to make 200 or 300 grand. And you know what? I love it. And go and do it, because the actionable items I'm going to put into place and the simplification of how to talk about making that amount of money. If you want to make double or triple or quadruple that, just double the activity, triple the activity, quadruple the activity, triple, double, quadruple the leads, triple, double, quadruple the number of people you're seeing, that you're sitting with, that you're talking to, that you're helping, right? Massive activity. I can now, Melissa. Thank you. Massive activity leads to massive results. You cannot get results without action. Period. The end. Okay. So I appreciate all the interaction on the chat as well. So let's get this thing figured out. I suggest, because there is no screen share and I can't do a whiteboard in StreamYard that I know of, at least. I probably can, I just don't know how to. But what I want you guys to do is actually, hang on, bear with me a second. I might have just figured this out. Joe's probably sitting back there looking at me going, dude, you can do this. There is a way to do it. But I don't know how to. So I'm going to see if I can figure this out real quick, because I don't know that I can. Let's see here. Let's try this. I appreciate y'all's patience as I try to figure this out with you, okay? So if you guys can, in the chat, let me know if, okay, share screen. Let's try share screen. We're going to share that one. Melissa or Chase or Kyle I know that are in the chat there, if you guys can let me know. Ooh, that's really blinky. Someone's going to have an epileptic seizure. We're going to not do that. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. Okay, get your notepads out. Get your pens and papers out. Get your calculators out on your phone, okay? Get your calculators out. Get your calculators out. Get your pens and papers out. Get all your stuff out, because this is going to be a great note-taking time to help you plan how to get your calculator on your phone, just like this, okay? So I'm also going to preface this by saying, if you are in the life insurance space, okay, and I'm not picking on nobody, but I'm just going to say what I'm going to say, okay? If you're in the life insurance space and you're not at a commission level from the carrier level that is paying you your money when you help a family, if you're not at least 80% or higher, consider where you're at. Figure out if there's another opportunity potentially. This is not a recruiting call. I'm just saying, if you're not at 80%, there's a lot of companies out there that will offer you 80% or more and earn up to lots more than that. But this is going to be, this example I'm going to give you guys is based off an 80% contract level with core carriers and so forth. Okay. So keep that in mind. How do I write business to make $100,000? Well, I've done the math on this a few times, and I want you guys to get your pens and papers out and do this with me. Get your calculators out. So check this out. If you go out weekly, there's 13 weeks, including last week. There's 13 weeks in the first 3 months of the year. That's January, February, March. Okay. Then there's 39 weeks on the latter part of the year, from April 1st forward. Okay. 13 and 39. So if you're brand new and you're watching this live, or you're going to see this later in the recording or a playback, hopefully you've, again, already got your pen and paper out. And hopefully you're catching this sooner than later, instead of way down the road whenever you're, already 3 months into the business. Hopefully you're catching this now. But here's the cool part. It doesn't matter if you're catching it today on January 7th, 2023, or if you're catching it July 7th, 2023. It's still 12 months, $100,000. I'm just hoping that I can help you do that in 2023 or in your first 12 months in the business. So if we look at how much I need to make, okay, so this is, some of you are going to go like, what? That's so little. Okay. $53 per application times 4 applications. Okay, so let's do $53 times 12 months is $636 times 4 of those in a week. Our company averages about $84 to $93 per customer copy. I'm telling you, you can make 100,000 by doing half of that. Not quite half, about half. 53 bucks. Write down $53. Okay, $53 per application. Do 4 of those a week. That's $2,544. And if you're doing simplified issue policies, which there's tons of companies out there that do that, you know it's issued, you know it's paid, and you're getting paid. And if you're at an 80% contract level times 80%, and you get 75% of that up front, that means you just made $1,526 in that week. Okay, we do that for 13 weeks. Where'd my pen go? That's $19,843. So you guys write this down with me, okay? Because if we need to fix the math, we're going to do this thing together. Now, let's also presume that you got good at what you were doing because you had a lot of practice in the first 13 weeks. So now you're better at what you used to do. And now you can help more families in the same amount of time, therefore making more money and more impact. Fair? So now let's say that you do $3,500 every week. So now you're doing $3,500 of issue paid business, not written business, because anyone can write business. I'm talking about getting families help, getting families protected, writing policies that are going to stick on the books, writing policies that people can afford, making the money, right? So now if you do $3,500, that's divided by 53, not divided by 53, sorry. 53 times 12 is 636. So 3,500 divided by 636, that means you need to write 5.5. So let's call it 6 policies in a week. And you don't have to start doing this until you get to somewhere around April or 13 weeks into the business, depending on when you start. So now we're at 3,500. You get 80% of that up front. Now also keep in mind that the numbers I just gave you previous are referencing the advance from the insurance company, not your year-long number. So it's going to sound light. Okay, I'm talking about how much you're actually going to make in the year, because you're going to make stuff and write business that's affordable to the client, that they can pay for continuously and not have to cancel down the road at $53. That's where this number's coming from. So that 19,000 is actually a little bit off, isn't it? So Kyle, let's go back in here, buddy. Let's do 2,500 times 13 weeks times 0.8%, because you're at 80% contract level. That's actually $26,000 that you're going to keep, because you're not going to, the customers aren't going to need to cancel their policies, because it's $53 should be affordable to a family that you're looking to help get a policy. That's going to be different depending on the customer you're with. And yes, we're talking about average numbers. You might write one policy that's $20, one policy that's $120. You might write a $10, a $100, a $200, a $500, $40, $85. The average we're talking about averages here, okay, guys and gals? We're talking about averages, 53 bucks. That's 26,000 bucks that you made long-term, year-long money in the first 13 weeks of the year. So now let's take 3,500, because now you got good at what you're doing, right, Kyle? Right, Melissa? Like, now you're good at what you're doing, and now you're like, I'm going to go help 6 families a week, okay? Now you're still brand new in the business. This is for those brand new folks, okay? For the folks that have never stepped out of their comfort zone, right? So this message is for those who are still trying to like figure out this business and go and actually make 100 grand because you came into this business and you wanted to make 100 grand. If you're already experienced and you know how to do it, just go do this and multiply it by however many times you want to make. 3,500 bucks times 0.8. And if you're with a company that actually pays you more money, the longer you're with the company and the more families you help, you're probably at, in our company, you'd be at 95% by now. So now you're at 95% contract level instead of at 80% contract level. So we can actually multiply this by 0.95. So that means for the $3,500 that you issue paid that week times 0.9, that means you're making $3,150 12-month money. I'll do that again on your calculators. $3,500 starting 13 weeks into the business times 0.95. Now you're at 3325. I don't know where the first number came from. Sorry, 3325. So $3,325 is what your 12-month money is on that, helping those families. 6 families, that's it. 5.5, but you can't help half a family, so just go help 6. Okay. So 3,325 times the last 39 months of the year, that's 129,675. Plus you made 26,000 the first 13 weeks, plus 26,000. That's 155,675. Now, if we want to be real and honest with ourselves, we actually make up front in what's called, for those of you that are new, if you're a brand new agent, you're going to understand that there's something in the business called carrier advance. And most of them, from my experience in the last 5 years, 6 years, is 75% advance. That's pretty common across the board. It might be different where you're at, but most people are that. Times 0.75, that's $116,000 if you just do what I just said in your first year in the business. And that's not including bonuses from the carriers. That's not including bonuses from the insurance company that you're with or the IMO that you're with. That doesn't include any bonus money at all. That's just money that you're making. Now, some of you are like, yeah, but Alex, I'm going to have to spend money to make money, right? I've got to spend money on leads most likely, right? I've got to call one of the insurance syndicate preferred vendors or get a hold of one of these individuals that are out there that sell leads or buy leads from my IMO if they offer them, or spend money on marketing. How do I can't just make money without spending money. And you're 100% right. Now, there's some people out there that don't spend a dime and they have a great business and they have ways to make, get leads, and that's on you, right? That's this is not I'm not teaching marketing. So let's say you needed to spend $500, right? $500 a week times 52 weeks. That's $26,000. I'm going to tell you, though, that if you're doing this business the right way and doing enough of it, you're probably going to work 48 weeks out of the year. You're probably going to take off 4 weeks because you got to go on a carrier trip. You got to go on an incentive trip. You got to take a week off or whatever, right? So like you can actually break down your income into 48 weeks instead of 52 weeks and redo that math on your own. So even if you had to spend $26,000 to make 116, some of you are like, yeah, but Alex, that's only $90,000. Yeah, but that's because you only wrote whatever I just said, 4 apps and 6 apps a week on average, and never a single one more. So if you understand the math, you can very easily go and knock it out of the park in this business. Guys and gals, there's a reason, right? There's a reason, Kyle, thank you for that comment, buddy. There's a reason why that this business of insurance makes more millionaires than any other business out there. There's a reason why this business of insurance makes more millionaires than any other business in the nation, besides technology. And nowadays, the insurance and technology are coming together in a space called InsurTech, which helps people's jobs be easier done virtually, just like we're coming to you live here, right? And be able to help more families without having to drive all over the place doing all that, which is even more cool because then your expenses are less and so forth. So I'm going to recap this for everyone, okay? I'm going to recap this for everyone. Write this down. If you're just joining us, thank you. If you're watching this live and you fast forwarded to this point, like, man, I want to hear the good stuff, and you got to the 20-minute mark, well, here's the good stuff again, okay? So write it down, share it with your team, share it with yourself, write down your goals, and make 2023 amazing for you. And here's, again, the recap. If you go and write 4 applications at an average of $53, that's it. In your first 13 weeks in the business, and you take 13 weeks to get your feet wet, to get acclimated, to learn the products, to figure out how to talk to customers. It takes you, let's just pretend it does take you 13 weeks. 13 weeks. You're going to make long-term 12-month money of $26,000. And again, the math, because the math I think is important. $53 times 12 months is $636. Some of you are like, I write $636 a month premiums. Great. You're making a whole lot more than $100,000. This is for those just getting started trying to figure out this business. 636 APV, annual premium volume, times 4 of those a week is 2544, times the 13 weeks in the business, and you're issue paying this at 80%, because that's your contract level. That's $26,457. That's pretty dang good to not know what the heck you're doing, right? And thank you, Facebook user. So true. And now we go and do that same thing the last 39 weeks of whatever your time frame you started. First 13 weeks of your career, last 39 weeks of your career, in your first 12 months. 39 weeks. You figured it out in the first 13. Let's do 2 extra apps a week. Let's help 2 more families a week at 6. 6 times 53 equals 318 times 12 is actually 3,800. So you're going to make a little more if you write 53. Okay. If you write 6 apps at 53, you're going to make more than I said earlier. I was just doing an even 3,500. But if you actually do 6 applications a week at only $53 average, that's $3,800. Issue paid business, by the way. Not just written, actually issue paid, on the books, carrier approved, underwriting approved, customer paid business. Otherwise, it's just fluff anyways. Numbers are for show, issue paid is for dough, right? So 3816 times 39 weeks times at 95% now, because you bumped yourself up to 95 by earning the business you should be earning anyways, as far as a raise goes, it's 140 grand. 140 grand. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that the ability, thank you, whoever that is, Facebook user, I appreciate that. The ability to go out and make over 100 grand in your very first 12 months in this business is more than possible. More than possible. And I encourage you all, and I ask you and challenge you, who's going to be the first person to 100 grand this year? Especially you new folks. You seasoned folks, you better make 100 grand or you probably shouldn't be in the business anymore. But the rest of you that are brand new, comment back in the video later on. When you hit your first 100 grand, when you hit your first 100 applications, let's celebrate those things together. Let's talk about those. Let's keep it live and going in the chats. Talk about it inside the syndicate. Talk about it inside your group and your team and your agencies. Go out there, make $100,000, show that this system can work, and go out there and help a lot of families and make a lot of money. Joe, if you're hearing this, we need to get this coined. We need to get this patented or something, trademarked. Here it is. The way you do that, conversation and curiosity with the customer equals coin. That's the 3 C's of life insurance. Be curious, have conversations. One of my agents the other day said the third one should be care about the customer, and that will lead to coin, which will pay you money. Appreciate you guys being on. I'm going to do our outro, which is the same as our intro, but that's what we got for right now. I appreciate you guys. Go out there, make 2023 your Michael Jordan 23 year.